So when I was younger, about 19, one of my mom's friend would have to stay over on Friday to look after her kids. When starting off, everything was fine for few days. The kids were normal. The mom of the kids one day told me she had to go out for a week and asked if I could look after her kids. And I responded, okay, because it was $250 for looking after some kids for a week. These kids were not really that troublesome until that when shit really started hitting the fan. It was Tuesday and I was doing some study for my local university. It was around 9:30 p.m. and these kids had been put to bed about an hour ago. One was a girl aged 10 and the other was a boy aged 11. The boy came rushing down the stairs in a panic and told me that he heard scratching on his second-story window and laughing while these cold dead eyes stared at him. Me, being paranoid, asked him to show where this was. And we darted up the stairs and went to his room, and I looked around and nothing was there. And I offered to sit in his room on the floor and do my study as long as he was quiet, and he agreed. I got my laptop and sat on the floor doing my work. It was hard and I knew I couldn't stay there for long because his carpet was uncomfortable and he hadn't cleaned his room like I had asked. So there were things here and there. About an hour I got up and looked at the boy and checked he was asleep before getting up and leaving. And since I was paranoid, I left the door open just in case it happened again. It was 12:45 p.m. and I had chugged a Red Bull. I went back downstairs and relaxed and started working again. At around 11 p.m., the girl darts down the stairs screaming that there was a guy outside. She was crying and I wasn't sure if she was lying or not. So, while in tears, she said, "Man, outside, eyes staring me." And I went upstairs with her and no one was there. "Want me to sit in your room?" But she stared at me and said, "No, he will get you." And I was shocked she said a full sentence, but this wasn't long while congratulating her. A man just staring in the window while smiling. I went over the window and he quickly disappeared down, and my heart was racing while I was cursing. I raced downstairs and checked all the doors were locked. So I didn't have my headphones in, and while I was zoning out, I could see a man with scruffy hair staring at me from the front window of the house. I stayed back every now and then to check, but this was Florida and this place is crazy, so I have played it off and someone pulling a prank until the doorknob started to shake slowly and then aggressively, and yelled at him, "F off," and he stopped and stared at me at this moment. Me yelling woke up the kids and then came downstairs. It only took a minute for them to notice this man outside who stared at the little girl and started smiling. Then he looked at me and started pounding on the window, like trying to break, and he started succeeding. We ran upstairs to the bathroom and locked the door and called the cops. The mom of the kids had a chair in the bathroom. Luckily, the doorknob was round and we put the chair under the doorknob and forced it in. And he started shouting at us to come out, and we weren't that stupid. And that 10 minutes was the scariest moment of my life, with the door of the bathroom being slammed into and him screaming at us, "I won't hurt you," while laughing violently. Finally, after what I felt like eternity, we hear, "Police, open up," and them going through the broken glasses. A loud thud of someone being tased, then hitting the ground. Then we hear the police saying, "If anyone else is here, come out now." We open the door to see 3 cops and some men on the ground in the handcuff, bleeding from broken glasses, but still laughing while staring at us. Apparently, this guy was a rapist and a murderer who had just escaped from prison, and this was the first house he saw and tried to break into. Who had just escaped from prison, and this was the first house he saw and tried to break into. From that point on, I get PTSD from loud bangs and door opening.